Hello and welcome to the Nexus Rumble. It's not already 2-0 to BeJoPaFeJuJu. Oh, Luca, welcome. But I've already...
Ladies and gentlemen,
already
back!
we have issues because Luca's here.
It's gone well. Look, I know what you mean. When me and Sammy did it last week, it went fantastically. Although you are right, these are the BeJoPa gang, and they've had so many names at this point. I genuinely don't have a hope. So I'm gonna try and call them BeJoPaFeJuJu, but they're gonna become BeJoPaFeJuJu within about two minutes. They're playing Munchies. It's going to be a great game. Some fantastic players on both sides. I'm quite familiar with the German boys coming along the side of BeJoPaFeJuJu. They've got Not Lazy back in the gang. He was there and then wasn't, and now is again. That's pretty cool. They appear to have 3 frontliners in their lineup, so I'm excited to see which one of them is not playing tank or bruiser. Maybe Hoot's gone back to assassin.
Yeah. No, we'll have to wait and see, It's a little bit of excitement here in the Nexus Rumble. Yeah. It's exciting to see what may go on. Of course, we've already done our map draft. We've had things banned and things picked. Of course, this map was picked by one of the teams. And
this map being Tomb of the Spider Queen. Picked by Munchies. Yeah. Garden of Terror banned by Munchies. Cursed banned by BeJoPaFeJuJu. Interestingly banned by Grim, who is not who I thought their captain was.
I believe it might have changed now.
It appears maybe they've done a Super Unstopper Bros where their captain got really bored of being captain and palmed it off, because that's happened 3 times now to the Unstopper Bros.
Well, I don't know how you could ever get bored of being a captain. What I did was I was so excited being a captain that I just became a mod instead, and then I became a manager, and now here I am sat on board.
Yeah.
Twiddling my thumbs, wondering I don't know where to go next. I've done it. I've done it. Anyway, we're here. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Welcome to the Nexus Rumble, everybody. Back again, of course. This is our old new format. It's the same format. So it's getting those points for the leaderboard, getting that points. It can be a 1-1, a draw, but there's now a final involved. I'm sure you talked a lot about this last week, Luca.
I definitely said it at some point more than once. I remember saying those words. I don't know. It's sometimes you get into the zone when you're talking about the most innovative and creative tournament out there. And even though it's in a different format to when it was the most innovative tournament out there, I like to think it's still the most innovative tournament out there because its format changes. I mean, when was the last time you had a super innovative tournament and format that changed and remained innovative and super? And I think I lost a word in there somewhere. But there have been bans. Chromie's gone. Urel's gone. Urel's gone is a weird but nice choice. Johanna is a much more standard ban, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Her power level's fallen off a little bit recently, but it's Tomb. You need to rotate. She's the best rotation tank. There's no 2 ways about that. Stukov ban makes a lot of sense. And Be Nice is going to come in on Hogger, so he's still an off-laner probably.
Still probably an off-laner. And we see Anduin being popped out on the other side. Sort of one of those picks that perhaps a lot of people feel safety with. And I think Makaku is definitely one of those players who feels a little bit of safety knowing they can pull out their team members and also just get enough healing at times. I mean, I've seen more and more people go for the other ulti on...
Not into Hogger, surely.
But yeah, into Hogger would make not a lot of sense.
Blaze is a huge pickup. I love that. Blaze Anduin is the start of a very safe draft.
People want the predictions up. Manage predictions. Let me get on that for you right now.
Well, while Chance is doing some mod work, we can keep going on with this draft. Anduin is just a very consistently A-tier healer in my mind. He's never quite as good as the meta support, be it the Stukov or the Rhaegar. For a while, it was kind of Brightwing, but he's always just nipping at the heels. And speaking of, we've got Not Lazy coming in on the Anubrak, so that my prediction of Hoot DPS is starting to look more plausible. And Athene is going to be rocking that Rhaegar, not wanting to go through that second ban phase, I guess. Brightwing on Tomb, she feels a bit sad. Maybe she doesn't feel very comfortable on the Lucio. They just wanted to lock that in, and so pretty standard draft setup for the 2022 era. All of our DPS yet to be picked. The frontliners getting secured in early. Healup's also getting locked early. We're just waiting to see one tank from the blue team, and then it's all assassins, and Genji and Maiev gonna be the bans. Always an interesting one to try and ban from that slot, but the Maiev ban makes a lot of sense if there is a well-known Maiev on the other side, because she is a brutal hero that really changes the way the game works, and Genji is in a really good place right now, and especially as we could go up in the Rumble into the slightly higher mechanical players, you can see a lot of damage get done by a quality Genji player.
So, yes, as you said that, yeah, Genji. I was just in awe of your Genji rant there, basically, Luca. Genji, yeah, pretty good hero. Does a lot of damage these days, and it definitely can harass lots. We see Orphea and Garrosh come out on the other side. Orphea a little bit not too sure about that in Anub'arak. Obviously, you have to be quite close, and Anub'arak has a spell armor to sort of do that. She does sort of have the ways of buffing her auto attack a little bit, but it doesn't really... It goes into spell damage then anyway.
My brain's just understood the Chromie ban. There's Mila on the other side. I wonder if that is a deny pick against his Orphea, if my memory serves, is actually quite good. And it does look quite scary into the Blaze, and Garrosh struggles to control it, so maybe they were really worried about playing into it. I would have preferred to see them give Mila the Junkrat. I know she can play it, well, I've seen her play it in the past, so she was at one point in time able to play it relatively well. But they're gonna go for the Orphea instead and pair it with a Reyna. They've got pretty solid macro. I favour the red draft slightly, but it's a narrow thing.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you know, I much prefer it because the Tassadar will help a lot with wave clear. The Sylvanas will embody the push. On the other side, you know, Reyna can help a little bit push, can help a tiny bit with wave clear, but Orphea really struggles in sort of doing these things. She can do her two main abilities, but they take a long time on that cooldown. And chomping away can be a bit tough, but yeah, you know, make sure.
I think E with Blaze. I think E with Blaze clears wave.
Yeah, Blaze can do fine, but he's not always going to be there. Blaze is not always going to be there.
Oh wait, no, Blaze is in the off lane, isn't he? Oh, never mind. My brain's a bit slow. I don't know. I think the red team have prio, but I think that the blue team should be able to soak everything. And I think that the two teams are similar enough that it's going to come down to the team fight execution. The red team are always going to have the advantage of being there first, but I still think they're going to have to execute.
Well, we'll have to wait and see as we go into game number 1 here of the NEXUS Rumble Upper Series. And here we see on the red team we have the Munchies, and it is Kodiak on Garrosh, Makaku on Anduin, Stab Kill on the Shoot Reyna, Griffiths on Blaze, and Mila on Orphea.
And on the other red team, we've got Be Nice playing Hogger. We've got Hoot playing Tassadar. Not Lazy is going to be your Anub'arak. Athene is on Rhaegar. And Grim48 is our Sylvanas player.
So there's 2 red teams in the game, apparently.
Well, I don't know. You called out a red team. I don't know what to do with that information, Trans. You can check that, VOD. I stand by what I said.
Really interestingly, Grim has gone for stacking on level 1 on Sylvanas. Very, very much not a typical talent, from my understanding, as on Sylvanas. So we will see where that comes in.
Even less standard, I would say, on this map, just because the amount of time you spend having to hit waves and just like generally not heroes makes it very difficult to ever build any stacks. But maybe with the E7, he's hoping that the blue team will stand in the wave and he'll get lots of stacks this way. Big cleanse required there from Athene. Nicely done there. The Sylvanas taking a play or two out of my playbook, I would say.
Yeah, I'm still very worried about this. You know, W requires you to step up, and when you step up, Garrosh will be able to capture you a little bit. I'd like to have seen the slow, maybe, and the percent damage, just because the slow gimps, or, yeah, you know, really stops Garrosh doing what he wants to do, as well as the percentage damage, obviously, affecting him increasingly more effective.
Can very effectively hamstring the Garrosh that slow. I do also think the Q talent is always fine though. Just that extra damage and the extra attack speed is always big, especially if you do want to go into the AA range on 13, which I think into Garrosh Blaze is always a fair choice.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how Grim does with this level 1. It could have been a misclick. We've always got to appreciate that. But we always shouldn't sort of complain too much about people's talents, as we'll be looking a lot of the play, as people have their own favourites. I really like what blue team have done here. They've gone very, very aggressively, going for their own camp, and then now gone for bot camp. Usually I do the other way around, but this sort of almost guaranteed that they got the bot camp. Now, They basically traded their mid camp to get bot camp. So I want to see what they're doing with bot camp. And it seems like so far, right now, all it is a little bit of a push. And I think BeNice is happy to clear that up as Hogger.
So I'm going to heavily disagree with you here. I think this was worse for the blue team than just soaking waves and getting their hard camp. I think they've put themselves behind here because their comp doesn't have enough wave clear to do what they've tried to do with it. The red team hasn't really been able to punish it as much as I thought they would be able to. I'm not entirely convinced I've seen the trait come out from Sylve yet, though, which I find mildly interesting. But yeah, like if you just look at what the map looks like after this, that is a clear win for the red team.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of damage here on the bot lane. I would have... Yeah, it's hard to say what to do. But this is why, whenever I've sort of played Tomb of the Spider Queen, I've always said try and sneak bot camp first and then go for the mid camp when you want to get some gems turned in. Usually around the 30 gem mark, you could try and get a bit of space with that. And, Kodiak is going to struggle to get gems turned in now if he's constantly scouted.
That is true. Sylve's going to take a lot of punishment here, Grim, at 48. Who's dyslexic today? That's right, it's your favorite co-caster. I'm just kidding, I'm no one's favorite co-caster. But Reyna has taken a stacking talent, and that requires addressing immediately.
Yeah,
that's a decision.
Armor.
Yeah.
Behemoth armor, which, it does give you already like a bonus at the bottom, and it will give you additional bonus on top of that. So, see how they try to do it. Mila almost connecting the Q with Athene, and then we see a lot of damage suddenly go onto Grim 48.
I mean, the theme just did get away with murder. There's no two ways about that. She got thrown in. Did a very good job of holding her bite so that after she got thrown, she could instantly bite back to Garrosh. But even still, I think death should have been coming there for the little doggy. And she was able to very successfully navigate that situation. Lazy getting thrown out there, but he's still taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, imagine if he'd
obviously
thrown
not
in.
quite believing. Yeah, obviously not quite believing the damage potential was there to kill him.
So,
Sevens are here first, though, for the red team.
JLN did say in the chat that they were believing in the talent. That level 1, they've gone full W. We'll see how it pans out as that sort of does come on a little later online as well. Griff first, trying to get something here on the nice, but BeNice is playing just far enough back. Now we see a lot of turn-ins going here. Kodiak did get their turn-in as well, so it is just Blaze who has all of the gems pretty much for the Blues.
And the red team holding out a lot of gems on Lazy, but also a fair few on BeNice and Athene, as Lazy's going to try and turn in bot side. And I do like the full W build for Sylve. I don't think it's good though.
No, it's tricky, and we should just let us see how it pans out. We did see a turn in here from Lazy. I would have liked the blue team to pick up on that. As soon as you don't see the tank on the enemy team on this map, you know that they're trying to turn in. So with that, red team get the first web weaver wave, and they'll be trying to make a lot of push happen with Sylvanas here in the top lane.
Nice wall there from Hoots, and now the rotation of the Garrosh, but Sylve is going to get caught out here. Cleanse is going to be required, but it's going to be timed perfectly by Athene there. Big cooldown nonetheless, but better than not having it, or not having the hero, let's say.
Yep, so now we'll see them focus into the mid lane, which often does happen a little bit when you lose that grip on that top lane straight away. Everyone knows that the top lane is the sort of main priority. The blue team will often try and get it down quicker. Lazy looking to try and get a stun, finds it onto Garrosh. Garrosh, having been pulled out, is still in danger, but is able to get away with that good bit of armor he has. Meanwhile, that distraction caused a nice push here in the mid lane for the Reds.
I think that the top lane is sometimes prioritized too much in this early rotation. It's very true that if you could pick one to take, you want the top one, but as Blaze falls here, we can see by just kind of sacking the top wave and letting your opponents commit their 4-man there, you can wreak absolute havoc on the map now. Is this more valuable than them having taken the entire top wall and nothing else? I think it is.
I think you're absolutely right. It's going to gain them XP, especially this mid area really allows you to control the rotations between the top and bottom turn in. Getting that kill on Blaze was just the cherry on the top, and that was 25 gems down the toilet.
That gem loss is going to be massive. The blue team are now effectively down 30 gems, I think. 40 gems. They're effectively down 40 gems, it's tough to recover from. And the second turn is almost ready for the red team. They're stacking it with 2 camps. they're weakening that top wall as well. And if you can just get one of those turrets low enough that you can snipe it later, that really reduces the DPS on the Web Weavers as they come out. They haven't quite managed to get their gems in though now, and the blue team are looking for this 10 fight. Kodiak has found Sylvanas, but Be Nice has gone so deep. All of those gems are lost. They couldn't save him in time. The Ancestral not even used. Little bit over aggressive there maybe from the Hogger player. Looks like the red team have very effectively backed this out though, and they have crucially recovered the vast majority of his gems. With that pressure in the bot lane as well as that camp pushes it in, we should see the red team are able to make some space to get something done here, but maybe not, as the blue team are very effectively controlling the space here. They're getting themselves the turn in, and they haven't lost their camp yet.
No, they haven't indeed. You know, Kodiak was stepping up really nicely there, but Stab Kill is here to put the pressure back on. Reds really want to take down this main mage, and it has gone down there. Pushing out this mid, the bot lane just cleared up from the camp as well. Griffers will be able to push that out a little bit, but red team are focusing once again on this top lane, and we'll see a little bit of a focus on the mid lane here from the blues.
Now I am beating a dead horse here a little bit, but I am really worried about this Wailing Arrow pick. I think if you don't go E7 and you don't go Mind Control, you find it really hard to get 3 trait stacks on the kill target.
Yeah, so it certainly can be a little bit tricky. I think they took it to dissuade. Like, obviously, it's really Wailing Arrow very good against Holy Word Salvation, but they had picked it a little bit for. It might just be a comfort here, but here we see a nice throw in, the taunt as well onto the Hogger. The Hogger gets taunted, gets cleansed though, a really good one. Amelia is going to be stuck in that black hole, unable to escape. Now the red team on the chase, trying to find something. Garrosh is going down as well. Blaze has been cocooned up, unable to propel himself his way, but a good pull here from Makaku means that Stab Kill is going to live themselves.
Nice bunker coming down there from Griffiths. He might still make it out yet, but no, the damage is just about there in time. But is this kill worth it? They're going to lose a lot in the bottom lane because they kept a 5-stack up here to clear this. The whole wall has gone down, and this is a classic Luca shot call right now. Oh my god, there are enemies. They're in front of us. Don't you dare go and clear your waves. We've got to smash our heads against them. And not too much loss there. Be Nice was quick enough to peel away and behave himself, but I wonder if maybe a faster reaction would have netted more.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, losing the front wall not too bad. Oh, a good attempt here from Kodiak, unable to get the picture they really wanted, and that picture being not lazy, but they found something new. New snaps here as Grim48 almost got thrown. But yeah, here, the negatives just being that the red team get away every single time.
Grim is doing an incredible job of stacking this W, it does have to be said. And he's got the AA range in now as well, which should help him out with that a little bit more. I do think that's the right call with his build. I know there is a picture talent on that tier, but it's actually an auto-attack build that's meant to push W a lot, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, not lazy here. The bank of the red team being chased down. A good stun here. Kodiak not quite in range for the throw. Goes for the Q first. Doesn't connect, and that allows Lazy to get themselves away.
Athena's actually a little bit lost down here in the bottom side if the blue team can find an angle to engage with.
Oh, it's painful to watch Lazy sneak these in. The blue team need to just acknowledge that if you're in the wave with DPS, a support can stand in the bush. You know, it's protecting your flanks as well. But here, the red team, although they got the turn and a big chomp comes out, but in return, the black hole to peel away. Really good stuff here from Hoot.
Hoot's black hole did a fantastic job there of making sure no additional damage could come down on his team. Very nicely done, and that's going to allow them to just have this space to start their push. It is worth saying that is a very nasty combo if they can get it off though. Those jaws into a taunt with the light bomb on top of it, that's going to kill some people if they can connect it. So they've very much still got play in this game. They have to respect that combo, but as it stands, the amount of pressure they're building is getting them close to an insurmountable position. If keeps start falling on Tomb, it's really hard to keep yourself in the game.
Yeah, and I think what the blue team need to do is maybe start thinking about killing some people back to front. You know, maybe go for a bit of a flank on Mila. Try and find that Rhaegar or Tastar when they are exposed, when they are unable to do anything. But here we see just a little bit of a defense. Stab Kill has to focus down these minions, has to focus down that boss. They are the only sort of good defense here, as Orphea is getting focused by Not Lazy and also just doesn't have the necessary siege damage.
Yeah, and it's going to be double keep here coming in for the red team. That's absolutely massive. This is going to make it really hard for the blue team. Honestly, it's almost as good as one from here. Short of a really big wipe, But here is the turnaround. The stun from Blaze. The light bomb comes out. Can they get a theme? The taunt? No, it's going to be Blaze that falls first. Kodak goes down second. The red team are all so low, but the level 16, just a bit too much. Jimmy is putting a cocoon. His life will be forfeit as well, and I think they're going to play to end from here. Who actually black-holing a little bit early there. That's unlucky. You hate to see that, especially from a nice guy like Hoot. Big up the Owls.
Yeah.
But that's got to be game, right?
It's a tough one here. You know, Munchies were doing so well, but they almost got that kill combo here against BeJoPaFeJuJu.
Bamboo.
Bamboo doo-doo. But
They
yeah,
can't
obviously,
save, can they?
here comes BeJoPaFeJuJu winning game number 1 here in the Nexus Rumble Upper Series, taking a nice, healthy lead.
Very nicely played there by them. I do think, right, in credit to the Munchies, Tomb is the only map that you can snowball like that right now. I think Tomb is the only map where once you get the mid-game lead after a successful early game push, you can literally force your opponents out of the game with only 7 kills, right? Like, this wasn't a massive stomp. It's not like they just farmed the blue team as soon as they appeared. They just had slightly more wave clear. They had 2 really massive turn-ins, and that won them the game. I don't think any other map that is true of that early on, right? Like, the game was essentially over around level 13 when they took one team fight. I don't think any other map you can win off of a 13 team fight, except maybe BOE, but even then, you have to have done some impressive losing to get to that point. So it should be the Munchies have a lot more window for comeback in whatever map we see get picked next.
Yeah, so with that, the Munchies, they've got to pick themselves up. I'll update the score now. Sorry, everybody.
I did a whole, 3-minute bit for you to do the score in there, Trans. I was co-casting out of my mind.
You were doing
right?
very good, Luca.
The production window was massive, and it was like I was the one doing production. It wasn't that bad. I'm not going to be cruel. I'm sorry. I take it back. That was mean.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to give the prediction points back as well. There we go. JLN, very happy with that. GG's there. Rio quite. I really like the almost turnaround from Munchies, but yeah, just so much armor and sustain coming out from the enemy team. It's a real tough place to be.
It has to be said, BeJoPaFeJuJu have always looked scary on Tomb, even now that they are checks notes BeJoPaFeJuJu. They always look scary on the map, even without JLN on the Kerrigan, which obviously never helped when they played it. They have a really good appreciation and a really good understanding for what you have to do to be successful there, right? And they didn't try anything complicated. They didn't go for any plays around the block camp because they understood their win condition. They were going to take their stronger push comp and they were going to ram it through the mid lane. And that was always the goal. Ram through mid, splinter your opponents, and then take advantage of any fractures that appeared. And I think the blue team tried to just be a little bit too cute and didn't quite have a full understanding and a full appreciation of the strength of the punch that the red team could deliver. And I think they just got knocked on their feet by that first haymaker, and BeJoPaFeJuJu never gave them a chance to get back up. Right, like that's an incredibly clean and well executed game from them, and like it's a plan from draft that they have executed perfectly into the map. I think you really do have to give a lot of credit to that. It wasn't so much that the blue team lost that as the red team had a plan and they executed it really well.
Absolutely, Luca. And I think the blue team, they shouldn't be thinking too much about what happened there, but it was just like, how do they get a foothold into that game? How do they find something? They couldn't quite find a kill that they really wanted. They were trying so desperately to find that CC, but there was super black holes from Hoot to be able to peel. And I think ultimately you just, you have to. It's a tough position to be in.
I think they had to turn damage limitation on much earlier than they did. I think if they had been a little bit more sensible about first turn-in, they should only have lost, maybe they lose a building, but you should never lose 2 buildings, right? Their draft wasn't that lost. And I think then they were left reeling, and it's just trying to play like you're not behind. And then they lost 2 more coin flip fights when they really weren't in a position where they should be taking fights that were less than guaranteed. But it's all right, because BeJoPaFeJuJu are famously awful on Infernal Shrines. You just ban Kerrigan and win. So
you don't even need
I can say that on stream.
You don't
even need to ban Kerrigan anymore, do you?
No,
I'm sure JLM will agree with me if he's still in chat.
Well,
I don't know. I forgot to open it.
So here's like the thing though. Yeah, Infernal Strides. I think Munchies generally do better on bigger maps from my memory. It's interesting though they picked Tomb of the Spider Queen. Of course, in the Nexus Rumble we have our reduced map pool down to 5 little maps for each match. So it's sort of that's the case here of what is happening. Yeah, so I think Infernal Shrines is going to be a good one. It's the old standard. And yeah, we'll probably see a little bit more coming out from Munchies. You know, Stab Stab Kill does a very good job on those sort of flanking, deathly melee assassins. And I think that's really what I want to see them play instead of the Rainer. You know, trying to make those opportunities so that Mila can have all the heat taken off her, so she can do some amazing plays as well. I think that's really how Munchies work, really how they get in and win. So I want to see them do something a bit more spectacular, almost, you know, than just Rainer or Fear. More spectacularness.
I want to see Stab Stab Kill play Kerrigan, and I want to see BeJoPaFeJuJu lose to a Kerrigan, because the amount of karma there would just be delicious. It's possible I've lost to Kerrigan a couple of times, and I'm maybe a little bit salty. You can't prove anything. Infernal Shrines!
Yeah, here we go. Of course, Infernal Shrines. First pick here for Munchies. A little bit of perhaps a power pick here for them. Maybe they like the first pick a bit more. Everyone usually does, apart from a couple of maps maybe. But I think, you know, first pick always helps. Luca getting distracted here with chat as I continue to...
Look, alright? It would be wrong of me to say something like I only remember one of those teams winning the quarterfinal, because that would be rude and it wouldn't be integrating into the Nexus Rumble spirit. So I'm not going to call JLN out for losing that map, because that would be wrong. Brightwing's banned though.
Yeah, Brightwing is banned. This intimates to me they've got some funky plans. Of course, when you are first pick, it gives you a little bit more availability to ban things. So without this, Johanna could be open, so can Stukov potentially. Rhaegar, of course, was, you know, it's not as prioritized anymore, but Athene did pick it up. It could be something that Munchies want to focus on. Some of those cleanses were superb. That Ancestral stopped any sort of comeback in a couple of those fights as well. Do Munchies want to choke out the healer, though? That is a question.
I think the Brightwing ban really does play into your narrative as well. If you're looking to put your series on a melee assassin, the last thing you want is your opponents to be like, "Have you heard of Polymorph?" Because Polymorph is nasty. We don't.
It is.
Melee assassin gang, they don't enjoy Polymorph, right? They can go away. All those Illidan players out there, we know that you've been in hiding ever since 2018 when the hero kind of died, but you remember the anger of Polymorph.
Luca, you've not played in Silver and Gold, where Illidan is rife.
I mean, are you kidding? I pick Illidan in Diamond and Masters all the time.
But yeah, this is what I expected. I expected Stukov to be picked up here by Makaku for sure. For sure. That's why I was wondering whether they'd do more of a support choke, just to make sure there was nothing on the other side that could happen. Now, Anubrak's still open.
Maybe Blaze Anubrak. I'd like to see that.
Will really help with closing down that gap onto the Stukov, really putting that pressure. There's the Blaze, but it's a Johanna, of course. Johanna being still available. They can go for the Falling Sword if they really want to dive onto that Stukov.
The Blaze Johanna is an old HGC idea. It's a super unbreakable frontline with heavy wave clear. That's the theory behind it, is you can't get through my frontline and you can't kill my frontline. So your draft has to do something spicy if it wants to win fights, because Johanna and Blaze are not viable kill targets for almost every draft, right? And so we'll probably see them pair this with the Anduin, although they might be forced onto the Rhaegar, just for that real safety. And then I really want to see a Mephisto ban come out, because I think if they can put Mephisto behind this, they have such a strong team fighting core that Junkrat Dahaka Stukov isn't going to have enough punch to beat it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm worried about right now. Junkrat, very good at displacing people, but Johanna's not one to be displaced. And that is sort of the general thing. I wonder if we will see something a bit more flashy. Varian gets banned out as well. Really trying to make sure that they don't get that one-shot combo. Anduin, obviously, the respect of a potential Flight Bomb Falling Sword onto a Stukov. Yeah, definitely a good ban here from Munchies. I've given the win to the wrong team as well. Okay. I'm so out of practice.
It's like I'm doing it. Yeah, no, I can't see a rotation I like more than Rhaegar Mephisto. If the red team don't have a Mephisto player, I guess Tastar is like a budget Mephisto, but I don't see any reason to hide it either, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Grim plays. On top of here, we see who come out with Hanzo. There's a Rhaegar as well. So Hanzo will be trying to shell away. A Dragon's Arrow can always help onto Stukov. Hanzo's pretty good at being out of range of Stukov, but Dahaka is pretty good at getting into range of Hanzo by burrowing behind a lick, a few auto attacks, and Hanzo will be in very, very dangerous waters. So with the last 2 picks here for the blue team, they'll be looking to pick up a tank and another damage. What is it? It's Mal'Ganis and Tychus. Not quite what I was expecting.
Love the Tychus. I think Tychus is a great pickup here. It's accepting that you're not going to try and kill the backline, but I think that's fine. The Mal'Ganis is spicy, but honestly, at the moment, Blaze and Johanna don't control him massively well. Hanzo, like, Mal'Ganis doesn't care at all. Zero interest in your Hanzo pick. You can have it, sure. So, depending on what this last pickup is, it's going to be the Orphea. So, the pick away theory is working, but I like this Mal'Ganis.
Yeah, weirdly me too.
I think it was the answer.
Yeah, so I mean, he can get interrupted a little bit by Johanna, but the rest of the team is going to struggle to sort of control him, and I think that's sort of the thing. The only worry I do have with Mal'Ganis is that you're going to leave that Stukov exposed. You know, both Dahaka and Mal'Ganis like to play forward. They like to go into the enemy team, and Johanna and Orphea essentially could just dance around him and go onto somewhere else. Like, just go onto that Stukov, really try and dive in. I wonder if we will see that counter-aggression happen.
Don't forget the Junkrat, though. That's a big peel option that they have.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and we should thank Somgroda, shouldn't we, before we go anywhere further?
Yeah.
Massive shout out for those 61 viewers that have all 54. I don't know, Stream Elements is about as good as numbers as I am. Thank you very much, bro. We're here with the Nexus Rumble. We're on our second map of our first game of the night. It's a best of 2, so this is it. No matter what happens here, we're going to have either a draw or a winner. And our blue team are the Munchies. They didn't quite have the answer to the beautiful play in the first map from 2, but this is a whole new map. It's a whole new world. We got stab kill on the Junkrat. Makaku is a Stukov player for today. Kodiak is on the Mal'Ganis. Mila is your Tychus, and Griffiths is going to be the Haka.
Yep, and on the red team, on the other side, we have BeJoPaFeJuJu with Athene on Rhaegar, Be Nice on Blaze, Hoot on Orphea, Grim48 on Hanzo, and Not Lazy on Johanna.
Are you sure he's not?
I'm pretty sure it's Not Lazy.
Cool. I was confused for a moment there.
As we see here, we've got Q-Build coming out from Hanzo, really looking to stack up, try and get that. JLN says, I never did the prediction. Well, we'll make sure we get a prediction coming out here soon, as we already have a little bit of a fight here, Luca, don't we?
We do indeed. The Mal'Ganis is actually falling quite low here. Gonna have to be careful, but he will be able to walk away. Red team crucially able to clear the wave while that was all happening. The blue team's wave clear is a little bit worse if the Junkrat can't connect his Qs. Makaku rotating a bit early here. Not gonna get punished for that though, as Lazy wasn't ready either. Q-Build Hanzo is coming out here. That makes a lot of sense on the shrines. Other than that, Dahaka is the speedy race car. I love a good speedy race car. Junkrat has the Q1, which implies a Q-Build. I don't know if we will see it, but certainly interesting. Obviously, they just want maximum damage to be able to come out from him. Everything else seeming pretty normal to me. Winged Guard is an insane talent. All of Stukov's level 1s are insane. He's gone for the one that is best in close fights, which I think makes sense, because as you were saying, Chant, he probably can't safely hold down that E-key for a very long time. Tychus has taken his only talent. Johanna and Rhaegar have both taken their only talents. It's a pretty chill level 1.
Yeah, and we've seen the rotations being pretty clean here from both teams, all sort of taking whatever they want. Red team took the mid lane instead of the bot camp, but they've been able to defend that bot camp, and now, you know, the blue team have only just been able to take their siege camp. So it's that sort of casual thing at the start of Infernal Shrines where either a lot of action can happen or not a lot, and we've had the latter.
Prefer this early rotation to last game's one. They have the same overall outcome of having 2 camps to 1, but crucially they haven't had to give up massive wave speed to get there. In fact, they've cleared the mid wave before their opponents have, and technically have prio on this bot wave, which is potentially an oversight from BeJoPaFeJuJu. BeJoPaFeJuJu.
Yeah, it's really good from them, and you know it is getting that extra wave of XP or that extra little bit of rotation that you want to do. We see that they're using this extra time to be able to use both of their damages onto that bruiser camp. Obviously, Junkrat using his range as well, but Griffiths here soaking that mid lane. It's important that you have this rotation around, and red team just don't have the tools to be able to push in and punishing. And I think that is something that we should note on, really, is in terms of defense and offense with the Punisher, the blue team is actually a lot better off than the red team.
I don't know.
I mean, okay, tell me.
I don't know. Pre-10, I don't think I agree with that.
Tell me about the
Tigers gets.
Tell me
Once
about the
Tigers gets Odin, right? Like once Tigers gets Odin, it's fine. But pre-10, I think neither side does anything once they get the Immortal.
I'd still put Junkrat and
Because Mal'Ganis can't do anything
above the red team. Anyway, we'll see how these guys do as the first shrine is up 16-0 so far. Out comes the Sleep, trying to find something. The hacker is there, finds the Hanzo, and that is a beautiful one, but the damage just isn't quite there. Or is it, as Kodiak is trying their best? No, they get stunned out by BeNice. Really good job healing here from the red team.
Super unfortunate miscommunication in there. Griffiths licking on the Hanzo as Stukov silences everyone else. But they're still almost able to convert a kill from it. No massive cooldowns used, crucially, because we're not 10 yet, so it's always a win for the space. Again, Kodiak just eating up the space, but that is a huge lick on Rhaegar. There's a silent stab kill, boots them in. That is first blood, and the red team are struggling with this first shrine phase. They have got a 7 minion lead, but it is evaporating quickly as the blue team take full control of the space. Crucially, Hanzo is still able to farm some of these Q stacks here. He has got stacks on some of the heroes. He is still missing 1 hit on Tychus, 1 on Stukov, and 2 on the Junkrat. So not completely perfect, but it's all backline as he's got all 3 from the front line now, and he's going to have that damage soon.
No, so with that, the casters thing is actually, it's me, Transparent and Luca here today. So with this, we have the first Punisher coming down, and we have him looking at the thing. So we got the jump over here, baited nicely by Johanna. The rest of the red team are going to be trying to follow up. Hanzo pretty much the only damage able to do something decent onto this Punisher in terms of defense.
With that wall opened up so early, they are going to be in a bit of trouble as Lazy gets knocked into the root. That is so unfortunate. He's going to go down. BeNice is on the flank here. Stab kill is taking a lot of damage. They're going to have to use that W to try and escape. Hoot says, "You are not out yet, my friend," but the final Q can't connect, and now Hoot needs to run with his tail between his legs. I mean,
it's a good attempt. 28 HP stab kill got away with. 28
honestly,
HP.
The amount of health left on that fort, I think this is an acceptable pre-10 defense.
Yeah.
Especially given that their tank died. Like, I think they were. I guess they did have to bring stab kill up. Not BeNice up.
Yeah, well,
It's all right. It's all right.
They're not too far behind in XP, and they're going to be looking to sort of keep equal and get that level 10 under their belt around the same time as the blue team, which, you know, although... Is level 10 going to be enough? We're going to have potentially Dragon's Arrow, Dragon's Falling Sword, which will help a lot with those sleeping targets that Kodiak has been doing to find that follow-up.
I'd much rather see Shield. There's no cleanse. I want to see Strike Shield with Blaze follow-up. Potentially with the Orphea stun on top of it. I think you don't need stun Arrow here. I think you want Strike, and everyone else sets up for your Strike. Because there's no cleanse, right? No one can deny it once they start setting it up. Grim can be super far back. As soon as the target's called, they can just drop it down. I like this call here from the red team, I think. Oh, do I still like it?
Yeah,
they still have Odin. Oh.
I think they're going to save Odin for the shrine now, if anything. And this is just a bait to try and sort of force something out of the red team. But eventually the hard thing does come out. They get that first roll. The danger ping's on the bruiser camp right now, but I think the blues have to go back to defend this mid and bot wave.
Yeah, both teams took a fort, but the blue team got the bottom wall, while the blue team got the top, the keep wall in top, while the red team got the fort wall in bottom. I think that's a win for the blue team. It brings a bit of mismatch, which is definitely a win for the viewer. But also the Dahaka team would rather have their side pushed in, and I think top lane is slightly more valuable anyway. If you're going to have pressure in a lane, blue team are doing all right here.
Yeah, Kodiak coming out with a sleep here. Trying to find something. Your fear goes for the claws. The Blessed Shield doesn't connect either, and that's 2 ultis down. The red team unable to find anything. They're only sort of low cooldown ultis, but they're not going to be particularly useful in the next 50 seconds.
But they should be back for Shrine, which is crucial. We've got 10 seconds before we know for sure that Blessed Shield is back. And, okay, it's almost back. There's a 10-second window in there. That should be fine. They did go for the oldie combination I asked them to. You know.
But were you saying Dragon's Arrow or Dragon Strike?
I was saying Strike.
Okay, so we have Dragon Strike indeed. It is that exact combination. On the other side is very standard. You know, the Dark Swarm, the Riptire, nothing fancy there. So with this, the red team and the blue team, very even Stevens right now. Are they going to be able to find something? Is that Ancestral going to be able to prevent enough as well on the side from the red team?
They have been able to get the space, which is really crucial when they're down ults, because if they get that first wave, the ults will be back in time. Johanna gets licked in and slept, but the Unstoppable is there. The ISO goes onto the Unstoppable Johanna. Blaze is just in there. The strike is out. Is the shield on top of it, though? I don't think it is. That's unfortunate. Johanna there, Lazy getting bullied a little bit, but the shield whiffing again. Kodiak stunned by Blaze with a half second. Oh my god, that was so close. There was a pixel left on that channel. I thought he'd survived. Hanzo gets his Q quest somewhere in the middle of all of this mayhem. The Odin is doing its best, but it was committed on the Shrine in a fight that's lost, and now they're just going to have to run topside, try and clear that out, and then be back in time to defend their mid push.
Yeah, they do have the XP advantage still for now, but this Frozen Punisher is going to be punishing. That's why it's called a Punisher. It's going to be pushing down this mid lane, disabling structures with its frozen auras. And ultimately, the red team can just help push here, help follow up, but they have just gone for the 3-man push in the mid.
Sorry, Chance, what's the Punisher going to be? I didn't quite catch that.
He's going to be immortal. But speaking of people who aren't immortal, a great trap here from the blue team, netting themselves 2 kills and essentially a free cleanup here.
Lazy and Athene there, just a little bit overcautious, little bit cocky. Maybe not quite respecting the 3 versus 5 maths.
You feel like you've got the advantage, you've got the Punisher, but they did go for the 3 rather than the 4 push. If they had the 4, I can see where they're going. They're trying to go for that aggressive. They did get booped in. There's a lot of things that did happen around there, but ultimately, you know, needed to play a little bit slower perhaps when you are trying to outsoak on the lanes at the same time.
Yeah, I think the truth is, if they had done nothing, they would have still got about that much on the fort anyway. So the sacrifice hasn't really netted any value here at all, which is a sad truth. But
yeah,
it's the
well,
truth.
it was well played by the blue team, getting a good catch out here from stab kill on the Junkrat. Now, in the same vein, they are trying to do something here in the bot lane, trying to force it down. They do have the Odin available, as you say, and it's sometimes a good time to pop a kill. An Odin is in a time like this, but we see, the focus onto Kodiak, out comes the Blessed Shield. Oh, really good swipe here, but the Hanzo getting the kill after Hood with the crushing jaws means that they are able to pick up that kill on Morganis before he gets the Carrion Swarm off.
Nicely done there, Morganis. A little bit too far out. It's a really difficult hero to play when you're not in a position where you're ready to fight. And with the Blaze coming down and the Dahaka top, they overstayed their welcome a little bit, and they were sent packing very early on. Stukov's swipe was out, but that one is going to be back in time for the Shrine. He waited the 3 seconds this time, so he didn't have to recant. He's learning. That's a big lick and a big cleanse in response there. Very nicely done there by Griffiths, though, finding that cooldown from Athene, even if he doesn't get the kill. 16 advantage as well. Grim needs to be careful here. He's taking a little bit more damage than he maybe wants to.
Yeah, Griffiths has been formidable on this Dahaka, using that speed, waddling in, finding the tongue, bringing them back out in for their team to devour. And now we see them trying to find it again, speeding ahead. Look at that, so much speed here from this level 1 talent.
It is the extended tongue as well, alongside the feeding frenzy, just to make sure you get those long drags that last a long time and reach a long distance, and you get lots of them. Other 16s are pretty standard from everyone. Super Strain is quite cool. We're going to see a lot of healing come out onto the kill target, provided the Q's on them when the engage starts. But this is part of the reason that I much prefer the Strike to the Arrow. It actually does a really good job of mitigating that Super Strain, because once they're in Dragon Strike, usually they die inside Dragon Strike, right? You very rarely see people die just as they're about to leave it. So the extra healing might not be enough to save. I'm a bit worried about this mid keep, though. I think the red team are just going to be able to get it. Both tanks went topside, and maybe trying to catch a rotation that was just never coming here.
Oh.
Actually, Stukov is caught out here. Makaku is just going to fall. The arrow comes out, the meme strike to try and secure the escape. And actually, I think that that is far too deep there from Mal'Ganis, and the red team agree. They get a second kill. It's a nice try there to catch Lazy as he runs away, but he wasn't running away. Unfortunate there, and I think you have to go and Odin the bot fort now.
It's a tough place to be here. They are definitely in the loser's seat, the blue team. You know, that was a really good find here from Not Lazy, getting that stun, finally landing one of those Blessed Shields onto the Stukov, providing the engage, and then getting the follow-up kill on Mal'Ganis was just the cherry on the top. But as you see, yeah, the blue team trying to recoup from some of their losses. Mila just comes down here, throwing a grenade. I think they're probably going to save the Odin for the defense, it looks like.
I guess that's fair, but then I don't think they get the building. But it's too late now. Like, you can't. You had to have Odin'd as you got here.
Yeah, and they're looking to sort of give up. Oh, we are going to a commercial break, essentially, as both Luca and I sit up in our seats a little bit straighter, a little bit better.
You mean I always look exactly like this the entire time?
Oh, and I could do some casual advertising at the same time.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
very important technical difficulty.
Yeah, it is a technical difficulty where the batteries in their phone have need changing, and they use their phone as a mouse.
Oh, I thought they used their phone as the entire thing.
As you just play HOTS on the phone.
Hear me out. Did you just say changing?
What?
The battery in your phone. How often do you change your phone battery?
It's a meme because once there was a pause for someone changing batteries in their mouse. And I don't know, Luca. But yeah, we're here. Game number 2 of this best of 2 series. That's right. It's a best of 2. It means there could be a draw. It could be a 1-1. They get then 1 point on our leaderboard rather than 3. Yeah, you know, I'm sure you're used to the best of 2 format by now. It's part of Masters Clash as well. I wonder where they got that idea from. Just saying, Luca. Just saying.
Maybe it was just potentially a part of the HGC group stage.
No, it was the Gold Cup. It was the.
It was also the HGC group stage right at the end.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
because
just
there were two groups of 5. Liquid went 1-1 with Genji.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, point is, what was I going to say? I was going to say a thing, and then I was being annoying, and that ruined what I was going to say.
So we have this pause. We have these teams. They're trying to trade forts right now. Mm-hmm. But the blue team not quite doing as good a job as the Reds, who are slowly taking the shrine and also opening up a fort at the same time.
What I was going to say was narrow margins. The narrow margins that this game really holds on, right? These 2 kills came because Mal'Ganis misread a rotation, thought the red team were going to go straight top when they were actually going to play for a fort. If the red team just go top, the blue team arguably went into this shrine phase ahead. But Mal'Ganis makes the slight misread. He thinks they're going to go top. They stay for the fort, and that allows them to find the angle on Stukov and get 2 kills. And that really is the knife edge that this game is sitting on right now. It's the difference between the team who are ahead and the team who are behind. It's so close.
Yeah, I want to see some good stuff coming out from Munchies. I mean, maybe when we get to that level 20, the Mal'Ganis 20 can be incredibly impactful. You know, putting everybody to sleep and finding that, as well as the Junkrat 20. You know, there's a lot of 20 tools that the blue team have compared to the other side. Oh, well, we're back in the game. I was snoozing.
Now you're losing. That's how it works.
So yeah, red team taking this top 4, blue team trying the best of the bot, but Be Nice is just making sure it's slow progress, as the minions are the ones that do a lot of damage overall. And so by just clearing them out as Blaze, it really does help.
Yeah, and they are correctly deciding, I think, to back up here. Nope, they're not. They're going to confirm it.
Be Nice though might be able to stop them from backing.
He should, like, the Haka, I think, can still dig out and is also, like, just less important than the others, so he should make sure the others get out first. He has functionally done that. The Punisher's going to jump just as they get here. This is the one downside to Mal'Ganis on this map, though, especially with a Stukov. There isn't an unstoppable to tank that.
But there is a Dahaka to lick, and they try to find it onto Johanna. Out comes the Riptide just to help clear the wave, push the red team away. But ultimately, this keep is looking like it's going down, Luca. These arcane beams are shredding through not just the keep, but the heroes, as Dahaka is in trouble with Mila. Dahaka goes down for the first time this series. Out comes the Dragon Strike, going a lot of damage onto Stab, Stab, Kill, and Mila. Now, with this, Mila goes down. Hood putting out so much damage. Here, the keep goes down. Can the red team find more?
Fantastic play there out of the Hoots Orphea. It's been done beautifully, and the red team are posturing. They're thinking about this end. I think they can't. They're starting to agree with me now as well. But with 3 against 5, they can take this top camp. They can pretty try and punish the front wall as well. They need to be a little bit careful because Junkrat's still up, but Tychus isn't, so the front line are so safe right now. Are they going to be a lot less greedy than I think they're going to be? Yeah, I think they're going to chill.
Yeah, level 20.
I would have liked to see them pressure the keep wall.
Level 20 here now. I think they're just going to go back, take some camps, and then think about pushing forward with the camps, essentially. So we do have the Dragon Strike upgrade, getting that cooldown reduction, the big Blessed Shield, the big Ancestral, the big Bunker, and of course, Eldritch Conduit from Orphea. So here's the siege on the outside to keep wall.
I do think this is just strictly a mistake, though. If you were going to siege this, you needed to siege it before everyone had respawned. The double Ancestral comes down. The Griffith's just about able to survive, but they've had to use a lot of ults to get this wall that, like, you can't see them being required before Tychus and Mal'Ganis were back. Or was it Tychus and Stukov? I don't know. I think teams do this a lot. They get kills, and they see camps on the map, so they do camps, and they try and work out what they want to do next whilst they're doing a camp. But you just lose a lot of time if you do it that way around. Like, the quicker you can identify the building you want to hit and just sort of hit it, the more value you get.
Yeah, I think the red team did feel a little bit pressured there because when they went for that original rotation, the blue wave was quite far pushed out, and they wanted the comfort of having the wave rather than just trying to push it vanilla. But you absolutely can, especially if the heroes are down. A really long, big tongue here for Griffiths, but without Stukov here to get that silence in time, just wasn't quite there, and he's able to get away. Now we see Mal'Ganis trying to go forward, trying to get the sleep, gets it onto Athene, and that is really good, but they can't get the damage, they can't get the follow-up. They're looking for Hoot instead. Can they find the boop? The explosion doesn't go off yet, and they get the kill onto Orphea. She does go down. This is exactly what the blue team needs, as level 20s are just picked up for them. They won't have the benefit all the time, but I think they did get big red button with that.
Oh, maybe. It seems to be. I think I saw some big W's in the fight somewhere. They ring a bell.
Did they get the duration, though?
Well, like, if they get the big W, I think they get the duration, don't they?
Yeah.
Can you pick it midway through? I think it doesn't affect. Oh my God, Mal'Ganis! Oh, that was a fantastic strike there from Grim. That was a true dragon strike, not just a meme strike. Every now and again, you get one of those. But they've got the space, they've got the time, they've got the initiative, and the shrine is spawning before Orphea is there. I mean, she'll be alive for a whole second. That's not enough time to get to the shrine. Griffiths is going to have to get a couple of waves top. The red team are going to get this pult in mid. No, the blue team. The blue team are going to get this pult in mid. But Munchies, they've found a real window here. They're back in the game. The only sad thing is that 30 seconds on Odin and 20 seconds on the Mal'Ganis ult. Also, the fact they've taken so much time to get to the shrine. That wave was not worth it.
10
but the sleep is big. Lazy might be in trouble here. Iron Skin forced super early. Griffiths is able to join Mal'Ganis, making him feel like a lot less isolated back there. 13 to 5, 7, 8, 9. No, just 8. The strike comes down. Big lick again onto Lazy here, doing so much damage these times. The sleep here is going to be massive. It's going to hit all 2 of them. I thought that was going to be bigger.
Yeah, and they're trying to find it onto Athene. They're really trying to get onto that Rhaegar, but they just can't. Griffiths is trying to find that tongue, but it's only hitting front lines. Goes down. Dahaka is down. It's going to be Stukov next as Grim48 finishes them off. Can Kodiak get out of here alive? The Ancestral is keeping them pushing forward, and they're looking to get this Tychus. 25 armor is not enough. Out comes the second Dragon Strike, and the red team may be pushing here for an end, Luca.
Fantastic first Dragon Strike there to turn that fight around. I think with their comp, I'd almost prefer them. Oh no, maybe they can just end. I don't know. Part of me wants to see them finish the cap, but then it probably doesn't help them end. Kodak has to be careful up here. Junkrat doesn't have the upgrade to his Riptire, which actually would have been really helpful for this defense, but It's not guaranteed. Kodak's doing a really good job of not letting the catapults get to the core either, which is a fair part of the DPS. He's going to be able to sleep Hanzo as well, which is just more DPS. But I think there's just not quite enough time here. That Q missing as well is going to spell the end of Mal'Ganis, and that is going to be the end of the game. But a really nice try there from Munchies. A very close game for a lot of it. They just got a little bit too greedy, overchased off of that final shrine fight, and I think that just a little bit too far for them to be able to recover.
GG. Well played as BeJoPaFeJuJu take game number 2 and the juicy 3-pointers here in the upper rumble. Yeah, I mean, it looks so close there. The 5-11 scoreline doesn't say it all, if I'm honest. You know, this is definitely Munchies were in the seat at the end, but BeJoPaFeJuJu doing really, really well here to make sure that you know, they confirm the win at the end. Really, really good stuff here. But this is not all we have tonight, is it? We have more series to watch, more series to play, and it's perfectly timed tonight, Luca.
Wait, there's another one? Oh man, I was going to go to bed.
No bedtime for you. You can't have your early bed at 8 o'clock, you old grandpa.
I've been conned.
It is
a trick, a ruse, a scoundrel, a scheme. I have been held for an extra hour. I'm kidding, I love it.
So, as I say this, we are going to have to try and find where these people are. Are we going to be able to get this lobby up sooner rather than later? Luca, I'm going to pop to the loo because I absolutely need the loo. So I think we can cheekily go for a little quick break. It's not what I like to do. It's, you know, I don't
think I've had a rumble break in a while, but yeah, no, we should do this quickly so you don't end up with wet trousers. So we'll see everyone in chat very soon as Transparent is running away from us.
No, we don't have a break. Sorry.
Damn.
We don't have a break. We are already there.
He's going to have wet trousers.
I'm going to have wet trousers.
I mean, you can just go. Just go.
No, well, I've got to set up everything first.
Oh yeah, you can set up everything and then just go. It looks like we've got Azok versus Kex. So that's VIP again.
Yeah.
Against whatever Kex's team is called.
Well, there's a limited number of lower rumble teams. If you're a team of people who are sort of gold and below, maybe even platinum and below, it depends really on your MMR in Heroes Lounge, or just have a group of friends who want to play some Heroes of the Storm. The Nexus Rumble lower series is a really good place to try it all out and really get involved with the Heroes Lounge community, even without sort of committing to the whole 10 weeks. So yeah, just come join in the lower rumble. You can do exclamation mark sign up and find out all about it.
It's Vacation in Poetry versus the Rantlers. And while Trans is gone almost, I can talk about Kex because he's one of my favorites. I love Kex. Kex is fantastic. He's a jolly German. He's an incredible caster. You should all go and follow his stream right now. It's something like twitch.tv/Kex. I don't know. Google Kex. You'll probably be able to find it. If not, search in stream. You can find him. Go and